Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
It is a never-ending wash, rinse, repeat cycle of madness. But is it designed this way to exhaust you so you no longer pay attention? We're going to talk about that and so much more today, so don't go away.
Now it's showtime.
Hi everyone, it is the Karel Show. I am Karel. Happy Tuesday. What is today? August 4th already? Jesus Lord. Lord, this month is just going, ain't it? Just going. All right, my glasses are filthy. My God, are they filthy? I mean, it could be the smoke. Have y'all seen, like, the West Coast is under attack from the smoke because the wind changed. It was all blowing east, and now it's blowing west. So there's smoke in the air. We can barely breathe. It's 100 degrees outside, and so I think whatever here is on my glasses is probably life. Life is probably all over my glasses. Try to get them a little clearer so I can at least see you. Hi, everybody. I see you now. Hello. Hello, bosoms. All right. I am sorry for being 10 minutes late. You know how I told you I spent the weekend agonizing over money like many people because I'm an honest host. I don't say things that aren't true. And I said I was agonizing about buying a camera. Well, I'm using my iPhone at this moment as a broadcast camera because my camera, my Sony a6300 this morning, decided today was the day it ascends to that camera heaven where all good cameras go to die. And it left us. So I am literally on an iPhone. If there is an audio video lag, I apologize. The iPhone hooks into this computer wirelessly in order to broadcast, and there can be a delay. I'm going to have to just charge $3,000 on a charge card that I don't have, total going in debt, making my grand total of debt now $17,000 on credit cards. Ain't that great? A lot of it at 0% interest for 12 months, though. See, this is life. This is why I wanted to do the show that I want to do today. But before we start, two things in history that happened today that I just want to bring up. First of all, today, Anne Frank was finally arrested today, taken into custody and killed, 15 years old. They lived in the attic, and she wrote her very famous diary. She still has an effect on the world. But her life was lost at 15 to people much like MAGA and Donald Trump. I don't give two shits anymore about making the comparison. It's a fair comparison. MAGA and Trump are behaving like Nazis. And while you say they're not killing anybody, I would counter, yes, they are. Our ICE detention centers are concentration camps, and people are dying in them. Another one died yesterday. Are 6 million people dying? Not yet that we know of. But around the world, all of their cuts to U.S. aid, to the HIV programs, the 1,700 HIV programs they gutted, yeah. Well, all told, he will have killed millions of people. So I could give two fucks if anyone doesn't like the Nazi comparisons. Just like I could give two fucks if people don't like that I say Israel is committing genocide. It is. If you don't want me to accuse you of that, then don't commit genocide. Okay? Pretty simple. But anyway, Anne Frank was taken into custody today by MAGA, I mean Nazis, and killed. And it was absolutely terrible. And then another story that happened today, which I love to discuss, is the Lizzie Borden story. Today was the day that Lizzie Borden's parents were found axe murdered. Now, she was arrested, she was tried, and acquitted. And her sex had to do with her acquittal. The 12 male jury members couldn't believe that this little frail woman could actually commit this crime. There was even speculation that she committed the crime because she was in a lesbian affair with the maid, and the family found out. I fully believe, with every ounce of fiber in me, that Lizzie Borden was innocent. I know that even the people that run her bed and breakfast, which I'd love to stay in, The house is now a bed and breakfast. I know that everyone thinks she did it. She's guilty. I don't believe so. And let me tell you why. I watch a forensic show, and it goes back and forensically examines very famous crimes to see if we got it right. And with Lizzie Borden, the forensic evidence does not add up. It doesn't add up. First of all, she was too small and petite to do that much damage with the axe in that short amount of time to her parents. Okay, that's the first thing. Second of all, they never really recovered her bloody clothes and the blood spatter. She would have been covered in blood. Now, I saw the TV show with Bewitched, where she played Lizzie Borden and she took a shower, or she did it all naked.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Thank you to my marvelous chatters at youtube.com/reallykarel for telling me there is no delay. Thank you. James Schnabel, thank you. So I don't think Lizzie Borden did it. And forensically, now we never recovered the axe because I would have tried to buy it, okay? I'd love to have Lizzie Borden's axe. I'd also love to have the Sword of Calais, which is the sword that beheaded Anne Boleyn and all these other famous people. I'd love to have that. Wouldn't you love to have that? What a great thing. Andrew and I did bid on Jeffrey Dahmer's refrigerator. We didn't get it, but we did bid on it. But we didn't get it. Too bad. I'm looking in this desk drawer for some wipes. I don't have any. I'm just going to have to go without glasses. But anyway, so yeah, today is the anniversary of Lizzie Borden's parents being found dead. I truly believe that she was accused because of gossip. Everyone's, oh, she did it. She wanted her parents' money, you know, blah, blah, blah. There were several other suspects that were never pursued, and they were men, including an uncle and a business partner who was in town that the father was having a fight with. Did Lizzie do it? We'll never know. I don't think she did. But that was today. That happened today as well. A lot's happened today already. So I, as you know, this is a podcast. It's not so much a commercial radio show. It's a podcast. And on podcast, you can be a little honest and not talk about things that you would be forced to talk about on commercial radio. I realized yesterday that my world, your world, our world is what we make it. And I'm not talking about that in the esoteric, in the ethereal. I'm talking about it directly. What you bring into your world is your world. It's what surrounds you. And Donald Trump, for instance, lives in his own world. I think we would all agree on that. He is delusional, he is angry, he is miserable, but he likes it that way. That's how he likes to live. And he lives that way. And everyone else be damned. It's his world. He's going to behave the way that he wants to behave. It would be up to us to stop him. But he's happy behaving the way that he behaves. MAGA lives in their own world. It's delusional, it's uneducated, it's ill-informed, it's cult-like, and it's wrong. But they're happy in it. And their comments of hatred attest. You know, they're happy being haters. That's what MAGA is, the party of hate. That's what the Nazis were, the party of hate. They're not the party of any specific policy. They're the party of hatred. They hate immigrants, so go and trample the rights of people we don't care. They hate trans and gays for no reason. They pose no threat, no danger to them, nothing, but they hate them. And so go make laws against them. They're the party of hatred. And hatred is what they fill their world with. And that's what spills out in their comments online. Their hatred and their vitriol. It spills right out of their body and right into their fingers and into the keyboards. They can't help it. That is their world. That is what they bring into their world. And that is who they are. They are haters. All MAGA, any person that identifies with MAGA or supports Donald Trump is a hater. That's just what they are. And they like it that way, by the way. They like it. And so our world is literally what we bring into it. Okay? It's what we surround ourselves with, what media we consume, what newspapers and what television shows we watch, what podcasts we listen to, how we relate to our family members. That's our world. Whether or not we have a job, and if we do we like it? Do we like where we live? All of that is our world. And the one thing that we can still control is what we bring into our world. Now, I've thought a lot about this over the last several months. And I have to tell you, I believed when I started doing this podcast that I needed to be Stephanie Miller, David Pakman, Tom Hartman. The problem is I'm not those people. And A, I don't have their money. And B, I don't do what they do well. Because their world, their entire world, is Donald Trump, Trump's cabinet, the atrocities of what's going on, all day, every day. That's what they pay attention to on their shows. David Pakman, all day, every day, is telling you what you should be outraged about Donald Trump. All day. That's what he does. That's what he posts online. That's what he does on his show. David Pakman has never been in a kitchen cooking on his show. He has never been out interviewing a celebrity, having tea with a celebrity on his show. That's not what he does. Okay? What he does very, very well. And that's what they bring in to their world. And that's great because it appears that they can handle it. It appears that it doesn't make them absolutely crazy. I no longer want to bring Donald Trump into my world every day, or Donald Trump's cabinet, or all the egregious things going on about how the rich are continually getting richer while the poor are getting continually poorer. In other words, I don't want to bring in anything into my world that I can't directly affect or change, because there's no point. Because they're counting on exhausting you. That's what they are counting on. They're counting on exhausting you with all of this unending bullshit, so they wear you down and you tune completely out. Now, you cannot bring Trump and his cabinet and all that into your world, but still be informed about what's going on in the world. Okay? You can know that the tariffs are going back to these big corporations and that we're not going to see any of that money. You can know that. But what happens next is what you control. You can know that, but letting it make you crazy, letting it get you so upset that you just get angry. It's like, this is not fair. We paid that money. Why aren't we getting that money back? This is not right. Because none of that is going to get you your money back. Okay? All we really can do as citizens is three things. We can vote for the president and the Congress every 2 years. Every 4 years for the president, every 2 years for our representatives. That's the first thing we can do. The second thing, we can campaign for them if we truly believe in their cause. We can go knock on doors. We can get involved in their campaigns. Okay, that's the second thing we can do. And the third thing is we can get involved in life, local life, on a local level. We can run for city council. We can run for school districts. We can make a difference in our own community. We can volunteer at food banks. And so those are the three things that we can really, truly do. The other, not so much. So why then do you need to let it outrage you every day? In other words, you're not going to stop climate change. Okay, you're not. And until the politicians and the billionaires decide that they're going to fix it, it's not going to be fixed. Now, I heard today that that oil companies are making record profits, bumper profits, they were called, during war. Iran is a war, okay? That's war profiteering. I got so angry when I heard that. I was like, we are struggling under these enormous gas payments that we have to make, $80 fill-ups. And yet, they don't have to be that expensive. These companies are making huge profits off of us. What can I do about that? Well, I can let my lawmakers know via email that I'm upset. And then I can decide to not use fossil fuel. And that's it. Those are my two choices. Fire off an email to my lawmaker and say the record profits from the oil companies are wrong and the prices are wrong and y'all need to do something about this. And then I cannot use fossil fuel. I could take public transportation, rent cars instead of own one, whatever. Beyond that, I can't do anything else. So being angry over it, letting it exhaust me, is pointless. The same with climate change. I compost, okay? I want solar energy. I try to conserve energy as much as I can. I try not to contribute too much to my carbon. I'm a vegan, okay? That's a huge thing. So I'm a vegan. I compost so I don't put stuff into the landfills to turn into methane gas. I don't eat meat and contribute to the methane and all of that way. I have a motor scooter, which gets 75 miles to the gallon to try to minimize my use of fossil fuels and, infrastructure and all of that, use and all of that. So I do what I can to make a difference. Beyond that, I can't do anything. I can't stop the heat wave in England, the 10,000 dead in Germany. I can't stop all the idiots that post under my videos right now, as we speak, on Instagram at Karel Official, when I post something about climate change. I can't stop all the idiots who say, oh, it's not real. The earth has gone through many cycles. This is all just normal. Y'all are idiots. You're brainwashed libtards. I can't change those people. Nor can I make them believe that it's real and make them actually do something about it. I can't. So letting them drive me crazy, it's exhausting and serves no point. So I think all liberals need to check themselves. We have all become too engaged in the drama that is modern day life. And it is robbing us of the energy that we need to have happy lives. Yesterday I said out loud, it's not money because you had more fun when you were less than when you had less money. When you didn't own a house, when you didn't have your pensions, you still had a great time. You still traveled. Granted, there were a lot more media perks back then, but it doesn't matter. I still had fun. I don't have much fun these days. And that's because every time I want to go have fun, something pops up, like today, the camera. Now I'm going to be worried that I'm going to go charge $3,000 on a charge card, money that I don't have. Part of me said, look, just give up the show. Just find another way to make the $1,000 a month the show gives you and just give it up. Don't go spend $3,000 if the show isn't making $3,000. Don't go do it. Because the iPhone's that's not a good solution. You know what I mean? It's like we are living in a world that is exhausting us because all it does is infuriate. If you have a brain, the modern day world infuriates you. If you have an IQ, what's going on in the world infuriates you. And I don't want to say you should ignore it because there's nothing you can do about it. You shouldn't ignore it. But you shouldn't hang on to it. That's the difference. You should not ignore what's going on in the world. And you should not ignore things you can do to make it better. vote for the right people, campaign for the right people, maybe even run for office in your community, help at a food bank, be kind, be educated. Okay, you should do all those things. But holding on, for almost 10 years now, we, if you're a liberal and you have an IQ, have held on to all the atrocities of Donald Trump. And it hasn't served us. It's exhausting us and making us bitter. And I don't want that, and you don't want that. So we have to strike this balance of acknowledging it, but letting it go. Just let it go. It's going to work out the way. You know what? In Kentucky today, yesterday, there was a procession through town, in this small town, Louisville or somewhere. There was a procession. There was Ford Escalades. There was a hearse. There was a casket with a flag over it. There were people saluting. And it was on its way to the coroner in Kentucky. Who do you suppose that was? Who do you think was in that?
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Yes, James Schnabel. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It is not an accident that they are flooding the zone, okay? They're just flooding the zone. Yesterday, Donald Trump attacked a reporter for asking about the reflecting pool and the fact that he obviously lied. He attacked the reporter instead of addressing the real issue, which is, he could have said, look, I was given bad information, okay? The video that I saw was not what we thought we were looking at. And now that I've reviewed all the information, I see that there wasn't vandals, that it was in fact shoddy workmanship, and we are going to be dealing with that contractor about getting a refund and getting the project redone. That's what an adult, that's what a grown-up would have done. Yes, it was shoddy workmanship. I was given bad information about there being vandals. Obviously, I'm not out there 24/7 watching the reflecting pool. I went with the information I was given. It was bad information. We have now got proper information. There were no vandals. It's bad workmanship. We're going to go after the contractor, and we're going to get this done and done right. Now, that's what a president would have said. That's not what he did. He's still saying that they had knives and they've got the video of the box cutter. They don't, okay? That can make you crazy. Like to scream at the TV. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You're lying. We know you're lying. Stop fucking lying. You know? And they want us to be there. That's where they want us to be. I don't want to be there. You know, there was a procession through Louisville. Residents called and asked the police, what is this going on? There's streets closed. There's this hearse and this casket covered in an American flag. There's people saluting. It's going to the coroner's office. What's going on? They issued a statement, the police department. And the statement said, we cannot tell you what is going on. It's a matter of privacy. We don't want to give away anything that the family hasn't given away yet. So we can't tell you why there was this procession. Hello? That was Mitch McConnell. If it wasn't, I'll be really shocked. It was Mitch McConnell. He's dead. They're taking him to the coroner. They covered his casket in a flag. He's dead. I fully believe that's what it was. If it wasn't, okay, it wasn't. But I believe it was. I believe he's dead. That whole situation enrages you. Stop using a dead guy. Just call a special election. Come on, if Democrats did this, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I'm talking about. We liberals have gone from being engaged and involved to being angry all the time. The only one that's not is Pete Buttigieg, who is polling ahead for the presidency, and I hope he runs and I'll vote for him. Most liberals have turned into screaming lunatics, including me. I went back over 2 weeks of my show. There was not one show where I wasn't angry and ranting. Not one show. Not one. There wasn't one show of just laughter and joy and being out in the world or being in the kitchen or whatever. Not one. 2 weeks. And all of it was ranting, raving, and then gay issues. For 2 weeks. And I said, when did you become this? You don't like this. This is not... Yeah, it's doing well online. My Instagram's gone crazy. I'm getting 20, 30, 40,000 views now on my reels. And most of it from MAGA. And most of the comments hateful, die fag. The comments on Instagram are horrific. Horrific. And I thought to myself, I don't want to be posting stuff that gets that kind of comment. That's not what I want to be doing anymore. There's a lot of people out there doing it. And I'm really good at it. But how is it helping your life? Meaning my life. And how is it helping yours? Outside of giving, rise to your anger. It's not changing. I could sit here all day and scream about how wrong it is for the corporations to be getting the tariff money and not us. Is that going to give any of you a check? No. I could sit here and scream about how Donald Trump should be impeached or the 25th Amendment should be invoked. Is that going to make it happen? No. Do you see what I'm saying? They have flooded the zone with so much absurdity. Like the Epstein files. If you think about the Epstein files, you get mad. You get mad for the victims. And you get mad that no one in the United States has suffered any repercussions because of them. It's infuriating. It's an injustice. It makes you crazy. Can you prosecute anybody? No. Do you know anybody that can prosecute anybody? No. Have you told your lawmaker that you want them prosecuted? Probably. Then what else can you do? Let go. That's the final step. And that's where liberals are having a problem. Let go. Letting go and not caring are two different things. When you see Donald Trump behaving like Donald Trump every day, acknowledge it, see what it's about, let it go. Let it go. You don't need to hold on to it. You don't need to think about it all through the day. Just let it go. Yep, he did that. Yep, it's horrible. Okay. You're not going to vote for him. If the Democrats take the House and Senate, you're going to let them know you want him impeached. That's what you can do. And that's it. So let it go. You can be angry that his policies are hurting you, but does that change the fact that they're hurting you? No. We need to start finding solutions. Like, how do we help those 1,700 agencies that got shut, that are AIDS agencies? How do we help them? Do you know? I don't know. Is there a donation we can make? Instead of being angry about them, is there a way we can help? See what I'm saying? We need to turn it around. Because then we win. That's how we win.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy.
Now it's your time.
All right, here's a good for instance. I'm in my chat room right now, and there's someone named Sophie the Big Maine Coon, which Maine Coon cats are fabulous, actually. And they said that I'm a liberal puke, whatever else, whatever other garbage they're spewing. I don't care. I don't care what that person thinks of me. I don't care that they're a moron and they're a MAGA person. They're a hater. That person is exemplifying what I just told you at the beginning of my show. All MAGA has is hatred for themselves. They're self-loathing. They don't respect themselves, and they don't feel that they deserve anything better than Donald Trump. They actually think that's what they deserve. And they do actually deserve him. But that being said, they're just hatred. They can't add anything positive to a conversation. That's why this Unfuck America tour that's going on as an answer to Turning Point, and they sit across the table from someone from MAGA and they try to debate them or ask them for facts. I would never do that. I'd quit radio before I did that. Because they're not educated and they're just filled with hatred. That's it. It's one note. It's a flat note, by the way. It's not even a sharp or a minor. It's a flat note. And that's all they have. They know one song, the I'm uneducated and an idiot, moron, angry person song. That's all they know how to sing. Every lyric that comes out of their mouth is hatred or stupidity. And it used to anger me and make me so mad. And now I don't care about them. They're going to die. Just like me and just like everyone else. They will not be remembered other than in a bad way. They will be looked upon like the Nazi Party. And the people that supported and vote for Donald Trump will be looked upon by history as traitors and seditionists. They're on the wrong side of history, and history will write it as such. So what do I care that this person who is probably in their mother's basement, who doesn't have a job or a life, has never achieved anywhere near what I have achieved in my life, what do I care that they're calling me a liberal puke? So what? Must mean I'm doing my job well. It's like Madonna. A lot of people are attacking me online because I defended Madonna. I said, she's 67, she shouldn't be wearing corsets, and she shouldn't be dancing, she can barely move. Why doesn't she just retire? Why doesn't she? All they have is hatred. That's it, that's all they have. They're not out there doing anything spectacular. They're not releasing #1 albums. Does she had too much surgery? Yes, in my view, she's had too much surgery. Does it make her happy? Yes. Does she look great from stage? Yes. Power to her. Not my body. It's like Cher said, if I want to have my tit sewn on my back, it's my own damn business. Well, if Madonna wants cheeks that look like a hamster and eyes that look so pulled back that she can barely see, that's on Madonna. And if I don't like it, I don't have to pay to go see her. If I think her dancing is subpar now because she's too old, I don't have to go watch it. But I don't have to comment under her videos that she should stop and be a hater, because that's not me and that's not you. That's MAGA. They have one note, hatred. They have zero education, zero critical thinking. They just hate. And they don't know why. They hate because they're told to hate. They hate liberals, and yet liberals provide for them. MAGA can't stand liberals. Liberals pay for their states. Blue cities in red states pay for the rest of the state. Blue states pay for the red states. Without liberals, MAGA would starve. Period. End of story. And without our policies that we set up, without things like the FAA and protection in the sky, without public roads, public parks, public schools, without all of this stuff, all of it, liberal programs, they'd be fucked. But they hate liberals. That's because they're stupid and they're hateful. That's all they are. And liberals are becoming
If you're not visiting
them.
reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, and no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Wow. You know, I'm reading in the chat room. I'm not going to criticize any other host because God bless them. Tom Hartman has far more money than I do. Met him. Nice guy. Really nice guy. Met him several times. Very nice man. Only had compliments to say about me. So I'm not going to criticize Tom Hartman. Would I watch Tom Hartman? No, I would not. Why? Because I graduated college. You know, I don't want to sit in front of a professor. He's very smart. And he talks to very smart people about a lot of things that we should care about, but don't. And about a lot of things that should change, but won't. So I'd rather go look at Madonna. That's me, okay? That's who I am. He is a great talk show host in terms of how he educates people. And the problem is that Tom Hartman speaks to the converted. That's my biggest problem with all of liberal media. That's why I love that Pete Buttigieg goes on to Fox News. Tom Hartman every day brings intellectual conversation to a group of people that are already intellectuals and that are already liberal. Okay? So it's great and he's wonderful, but what has it changed? How long has he been on the radio? Tom Hartman. How long? 30 years? At least as long as me, and I've been on for 30 years. And has it changed anything? Did George Bush not win twice? Did Donald Trump not win twice? It didn't change anything. Stephanie Miller's been on forever. 2 Bushes, 2 Trumps. Didn't change anything. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? I only want to be involved in things nowadays that can change things, that can actually change things. I only want to talk about things every day that can actually change your life. That's why I love my cooking segments. If I could make any of you healthier, then I've done something. I've changed your world. I've made you healthier. If I can inspire any of you to become plant-based eaters, then I've changed your world for the better and I've helped the planet. I've actually done something. Okay? I'm not going to change any of your minds to become a progressive or a maggot, and I'm certainly not going to change MAGA's mind to become a liberal. I don't have that power. I think liberals need to be more concerned with the things we can change and accept the things we can't. You know what? We act like we can change Donald Trump. We cannot. We can't impeach him. We can inspire our lawmakers to do so. We can go march in the Million Man March. We can do all that, but we cannot impeach him. We don't have the power. We can't call a vote. We are not in the cabinet. We cannot invoke the 25th Amendment. We can try to get lawmakers to get the cabinet to do it by emailing or texting or whatever. But beyond that, we can't do it, you and I. You and I cannot stop Amazon from all of the horrible things that Amazon does. We can only not use it. Okay, we could not use it, but we can't stop it. And I know you're saying, well, Karel, that's futile. That's giving up. You know one of the biggest problems with humans? We don't know when to give up. We don't know when to give up. We don't. There are some irredeemable causes. Donald Trump is an irredeemable cause. He is always going to be evil to the day he dies. He is going to be the worst person on planet Earth until the day he dies. And we can't change that. We can't get him out of office. I'm sure most of you have made your upset with him known to your lawmaker. Beyond that, what can you do? Get in a fight with every maggot you see? Get in an online battle with MAGA? Why? You're never going to change them. They're idiots. They have low IQs, and all they are is hatred. You can't change someone with a low IQ that is filled with hate. And why would you want to spend time doing that? There are so many things in the news today that when you look at them, they're rage bait. It's meant to get you angry. It's to flood the zone. Okay? If they just overwhelm you, okay, then they win. You know, Trump is arriving in Vegas tomorrow. I could have been credentialed to go see him. I'd rather have a tooth extraction with no anesthetic. I said that under the post, and 5 people said, oh, well, I want to see you have a tooth extraction with no anesthetic. Go ahead. These are haters. Trump is going to probably fire Jeanine Pirro over the reflecting pool. Why? Because she told the truth. Because she didn't want to get disbarred for lying to the court. But he doesn't care. His litmus test is loyalty. She was disloyal. You know, she was disloyal. Todd Blanche has cleared the Senate Judiciary Committee on party lines. I don't want Todd Blanche to be the Attorney General. You don't want Todd Blanche to be the Attorney General. But why get upset about it? He's going to be the next Attorney General. We can't stop it. It's going to happen. So why be mad at it? I mean, your senator probably isn't voting for him. All the Democrats will vote against him, but we don't have a majority. If it was after the midterms, he wouldn't be the Attorney General. And there are big elections today, by the way. Big elections today. Michigan has a Senate battle going on. David Ellison has said that CNN is the root cause of the merger battle and vows to play it down the middle. That's a lie. They've gutted CBS and they're going to gut CNN. Can you change that? No, I can't stop the Paramount merger. I voted in SAG-AFTRA to stop it, and our union has now launched a lawsuit to stop it. That's all I can do. I can't stop it. I'm mad at it. I don't want it to happen, but it's probably gonna. I did what I could. I used my union to vote against it and to file a lawsuit. What else? Did you hear about Linda Blair from The Exorcist having 250 dogs? Now look, I'm all for rescuing dogs, okay? But there's just no way that one person could give attention to 250 dogs. I mean, she got to be possessed. I appreciate what she's doing, but I hope she had staff. I really do. So, when you look at those topics in the news, they're made to infuriate you, but not much else, The U.S. has used virtually all long-range precision missiles during the Iran war. So let me get this right. We spend billions of dollars every year, on defense. Billions, with a B. We fought World War I, World War II, Vietnam. Those went on for years. Never ran out of munitions. One 90-day war in Iran, and suddenly we're out of long-range missiles? So where was the money going to make the missiles? Obviously, not into the missiles. Now, that's infuriating. That makes me angry. That for decades we've spent billions on funding war, and now we don't even have the missiles we paid for. That makes me angry. But what can I do about it? Nothing. I can't do anything about it. I can't go make a missile. I can't reapportion the budget. There's nothing I can do. And that's what I mean. We need to start gauging stories that we let into our life by the term of, well, what can I do? If I read this story and if I invest in it, what can I do? Or what is it going to do for me? And if the answer is nothing or nothing, let it go. Let it go. If you can't do anything about it, and if it's not going to do anything to you but make you angry, let it go. Let it go. Until you can do something about it. We can do something about Congress in the midterms. And right now, if you're somewhere in a close race, you can help a candidate campaign. That's what you can do. You can help a campaign and vote in the midterms. That's what you can do. You can hold parties to, try to get people excited about a candidate or whatever. That's what you can do. Beyond that, you can't do anything. So do that or let it go. Because that's all you can do. Worrying about it every day is not going to help. I fully believe that Iran is going to turn into a world war, and I'm very nervous about it. I think the economy is going to crash. I'm very worried that in the next 6 months, my Social Security disability check is going to be gone because there won't be any money. I'm very worried about that. Because all the money will be going to warfare. I'm very concerned about that. What can I do about it? Well, I can try to stockpile what money I have. I can think about moving to someplace cheaper, a different country, to where I could survive on just my SAG-AFTRA pension. Or I could try to generate more revenue that is not related to SAG-AFTRA pension or Social Security. Those are my options. That's what I can do. I can't stop the fact that I think he's going to get us into a world war, because I think he is. And I can't stop that. So worrying about it every day, oh my God, we're headed to a world war. Oh my God, what are we going to do? Oh my God, we're headed to a world war. Having that all day, what good is that? How does that help anything? It doesn't. I think it's coming. I really do. China and Russia are posturing with Iran. I think that if we don't end this immediately, like this week, that it's going to escalate to a world war. Look at Israel. I don't approve of what Israel is doing. Maybe I'm anti-Semitic because I said that. But I don't approve of it. And I don't want any of my money going to the state of Israel until they stop. So I drafted a letter to Susie Lee, my representative, that said, I would prefer you not vote to give Israel any more money until they stop the genocide. That's what I can do. I sent a letter to my congressperson and my senator, and it says, please don't fund Israel any more money until they stop the genocide. That's what I can do. That's it. That I can't go to Gaza and stop it. I can't stop Netanyahu. I can't bring him to the World Court and have him tried for his war crimes. I can't do any of that. I can tell my senator and congressperson that I don't want them to fund Israel. And that's it. Getting into a fight online under a Boy George, story because I said he was stupid for putting out that song. What good does that do? It doesn't stop the genocide. So we need to start focusing on what we can do. And then once we do it, let it go. Let it go. And start focusing back on the things that make us us. What makes you you? I'm not being facetious here. What makes you you? If someone were to describe you and the things that you like, what would they say? If someone asked your best friend, what are they like and what things do they like to do? What would that person say about you? I'd love to see your comments down below. If someone were asked, what are you like and what do you like to do? What would they answer? Would they say, oh God, they're mean, they're bitter, they're always mad about politics, they're always ranting and raving about Donald Trump, they're letting, they can't do anything without bringing up these big topics at dinner and having these enormous conversations and fights and, blah. They used to like to go to the movies, they used to like to garden, they used to like to go on trips, they used to like to, but now all they do is sit and watch cable news and scroll on their phone and post comments online. And if someone were to ask your best friend, what do you like and what do you like to do, what would that best friend answer?
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
All right. I equal equals equal. I'm going to start selling that shirt again, by the way. I'm going to repurpose makemerchandisegreatagain.com, which I own. And there's a store there with Trump t-shirts. I'm going to repurpose that and start selling my merchandise there. Liberal merchandise at makemerchandisegreatagain.com. I think the best revenge isn't to make money off of Donald Trump merchandise. I think the best revenge is to take and make Merchandise Great Again a liberal merchandise website. So my first t-shirt's going to be the equal equals equal. It's the word equal, an equal sign, and then another word equal. I came up with that shirt 30 years ago. That might be, and the other equal is a rainbow. So I think that's going to be the first shirt that I sell. So I'll let you know when that's live. Look, you know what my wish is for you and for me? To be happy. Even in dark times, to be happy. And their goal is to make you miserable. That is MAGA's goal, to make liberals miserable. Don't let it work. They want to come in my chat room and say horrible things about me. Who cares? I mean, really, who cares what an asshole thinks? If I want the opinion of an asshole, I'll fart. I mean, really, who cares? I've dealt with assholes. I was reminded this morning, I have been dealing with people saying terrible things about me since I became a public gay media figure. So that would be since the late 80s. I have dealt with negative comments about who I am, how I look, my teeth. Oh, they attack my teeth, they attack my earrings, they attack my lisp all the time, they attack my neck, they attack my mohawk. All they are is bitter and hateful. And I guess I've been letting it get to me. And I have to apologize to you guys for that. I guess I've been letting that get to me. Not anymore. I couldn't care less. I really don't care what MAGA thinks of me. I don't. I really don't. And neither should you. And I also am tired of concentrating on things I can't fix. And that's the thing that most of you are going to find hardest to do. To stop concentrating on things you can't fix. There are some things out of your control. And letting those things into your life and letting those things have an influence on how you feel or act, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. I'm not saying it's Trump derangement syndrome. The only people that are deranged are the people that follow Donald Trump. I'm just saying that we need to refocus on the life that we want, not the life that they want us to have. They want us to be fighting over trans people and be fighting over gay people. They want us to be fighting over a woman's right to choose and guns and all this other crap so they can do all this horrible stuff behind the scenes. No. I'm not going to fight over it anymore. I'm just not going to vote for anyone that doesn't support a woman's right to choose. I'm not going to vote for anyone that doesn't support LGBTQIA, equality. I'm not going to vote for anyone that's anti-trans. I'm not anybody. School district, dog catcher, nobody. I'm not going to empower anybody that is against me. Period. I'm not going to shop at a store that's against me. I'm not going to frequent somewhere where they're against me. I'm not going to do it. But I'm not going to sit out in front of their place with a picket sign because it does no good. So I want happiness for us all moving forward. There is happiness to be had. And I want us to have it. It's hard. Money is so tight. Groceries are so expensive. I got to go out today and spend $3,000 on a credit card that I truly don't have. I am already $17,000 in credit card debt. It's all 0% interest for 12 months. But I'm going to add $3,000 to that. I don't want to be 20 grand in debt. I don't. But if I'm to keep doing the show, I have to do it. So let's focus on what we can do. And what we can do is empower each other. I can empower you, and you can empower each other. Some of you should run for office. Some of you should. School board, city council, whatever. You guys are smart. You guys are caring. You're empathetic. You should be in office. Some of you should remember that life can be fun and plan a vacation, even a cheap one. Or a free one. Some of you should remember that you're not alone and that there's a community of people waiting to welcome you somewhere. Go find them. Some of you should remember that all of this is temporary, that Hitler passed. He's over. He's done. Nazism is done. Well, it's morphed into MAGA, but you know what I mean. Donald Trump will die soon. Lindsey Graham did, and I believe Mitch McConnell has. I think he's in a coroner's office in Kentucky right now. I do. I fully believe that. Could be wrong, but that's what I believe. So pay attention, read the news, listen to podcasts, but remember you have to let go of the stuff you cannot change. You can't dwell on it because it will fatigue you. And they want you tired. They don't want you ready to fight. We got to be ready to fight in the midterms. We got to get out there in the streets and get people to vote. We've got to be ready to fight to win in the midterms. And then we have to be ready to fight in the presidential. If we're just exhausted, we won't be able to. Pick your battles. Pick them. Don't die on every hill. We've got a big fight ahead of us to win the midterms. And we've got a bigger fight to win the presidency. Let's concentrate on that. That's what we need to win. The midterms and the presidency. As for corporations, what can we do? Not buy stuff from them? Yeah, that works. Boycott Amazon? Amazon doesn't care. See what I mean? I am Karel, be who you want to be, so I'll hurt you, buddy. We'll be back tomorrow. And then Thursday, I believe we're going to have a This Gay Week this week because I think Scott's okay in the Ukraine. So that'll be cool. In the meantime, have some fun. Get away from the news feed and go have some fun. Do something you like to do.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go.